Vandals have targeted a church in the Comox Valley, desecrating it with swastikas and white supremacist graffiti. The historic church was built in the 1870s and has been a sacred place of worship ever since. As CTV's Gord Kurbis reports, having the vandalism happen over Christmas has made it even more difficult for the parish.
It's not the biggest example of vandalism to ever hit the Comox Valley, but it could certainly be considered one of the most disturbing ones.
The people who probably did the graffiti don't even know what those terms mean, and there was probably no intent to cause any upset to people in our community, but those comments do mean something to some people in our community.
Sometime over the Christmas holidays, St. Andrew's Anglican Church near the northern entrance to the city of Courtenay was desecrated with offensive markings.
Yeah, it's a little more shocking when it's coming around Christmas, and especially those symbols that can be even more disturbing to some people in our community than others.
The church, located on Mission Hill, was erected back in 1871 and was the first Anglican church built north of Nanaimo. Local historian Judy Hagan says the building is certainly an important part of the Comox Valley's history.
This was always the mother church, and so it gives it an even greater significance to the community, and to see someone deface it is tragic that young people have so little concern for what has come before.
Hagan can't see why anyone would want to vandalize such a holy structure.
It has incredible significance to the history of the valley, and I think it's terribly disappointing that people would want to do anything to the building because it's not doing any harm to anybody else.
We did try to talk to a representative of the Anglican Church about the vandalism here, but our request for an interview was turned down. But we did learn that the parish has concerns which reach beyond what's happening in the church here, and those extend to the activities of the graveyard just behind the building. Church members are concerned that some headstones within the graveyard, the oldest cemetery in the Comox Valley, have been knocked over. There are also beer cans scattered throughout the grounds by people who have been using the area as a watering hole.
I guess that, it's open and you can go in and sit there and hide in a sense because there's no lights on it. And it's just, it's a spot that we should revere in the sense that it is our history.
The vandalism in Courtenay isn't as severe as the anti-Semitic messages discovered in this Victoria cemetery on New Year's Day. But RCMP say anytime someone steps into a graveyard with less than honorable intentions, they should be prepared to suffer the consequences.
There'd be drinking in a public place. If they're littering, then you've got damage, possibly mischief. Most likely some of these people are underage as well, so there's a few offenses if we were to come across these people.
RCMP say it will be very difficult to try to determine who is responsible for the church vandalism, but they're working with the parish to try to minimize future occurrences. Gord Kurbis, CTV News, Courtenay.